On October 23, 1983, Beirut witnessed one of the deadliest terrorist attacks of the 20th century, when two coordinated suicide truck bombings struck the multinational peacekeeping force stationed in the city. At 06:22 a.m., a yellow Mercedes truck packed with more than 12,000 pounds of TNT crashed into the U.S. Marine barracks at Beirut International Airport, exploding with such force that it lifted the four-story concrete building off the ground before collapsing it. The devastation killed 241 Americans, including 220 Marines, 18 sailors, and 3 soldiers, marking the single deadliest day for the Marine Corps since Iwo Jima in World War II. Just minutes later, another truck bomb hit the French paratrooper barracks, known as Drakkar, in West Beirut. Despite attempts by French soldiers to stop the vehicle with gunfire, the 9-story building collapsed, killing 58 French troops, the heaviest military loss for France since the Algerian War. Rescue operations began immediately, with U.S. Marines, French soldiers, Lebanese civilians, and heavy machinery provided by businessman Rafik Hariri working together to pull survivors from the rubble. The injured were evacuated by U.S. Navy helicopters to the USS Iwo Jima and later flown to hospitals in Cyprus and West Germany. The attacks were claimed by a group calling itself Islamic Jihad, but investigations later tied them to Hezbollah operatives backed by Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps in Lebanon's Bekaa Valley. In later decades, U.S. courts found Iran legally responsible, ordering billions in compensation for victims' families. The political consequences were profound. France retaliated briefly with airstrikes on suspected militant bases in the Bekaa Valley on November 17, 1983, while the United States debated its role in Lebanon. President Ronald Reagan initially reinforced security, but by February 1984, ordered the withdrawal of all U.S. Marines. Strategically, the attacks demonstrated the effectiveness of suicide vehicle bombs against hardened targets, forcing the U.S. and allied militaries to adopt new security doctrines. Concrete blast walls, wider exclusion zones for vehicles, stricter base defense measures, and updated rules of engagement allowing constant readiness. In total, 299 service members were killed, 241 Americans and 58 French, with more than 150 wounded. Including civilians and the attackers themselves, the death toll rose to 307. The Beirut Barracks bombings left a legacy that reshaped counterterrorism strategy, military doctrine, and Western policy in the Middle East. Memorials now stand at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina and in France to honor the fallen, while annual commemorations remind the world of a day that changed modern military history forever.